Don't use AI to do your show. Use AI to do your show better. What does this mean in the podcasting space? Let's chat about it. AI is popular. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's talking about it. Now, last week, the Chinese answer to it, DeepSeek, got a bunch of attention. Trump and his world are, all over it, that kind of thing. Coming in a month or so, podcast movement. There are a lot of sessions about it. I've got a session. There's a panel session. I'm sure it's going to be the big talk. It's been the big talk for about the last year or so. There are books about it. There are podcasts about it. There are AI podcasts about using podcasting and AI and everything. It's just stacked up. But the problem is the classic question in the midst of all this is, what does AI do for podcasting versus what is AI in podcasting for? So many people will come to an event like Podcast Movement and will go, well, what can podcasting do for me? Or what can AI do for me? What can these tools do for me? Where really the question needs to be, what is it that I can do with these tools? See, you as the content creator, you know more about your audience, you know more about the goal of your podcast, all things we've chatted about before on this show. You know what you need, and so you've got this tool, and if the tool can come into play and help you do better things with it, that's what you want. So not what can I do with this, but what can I do? What does my show need that this thing gives to me? It's a subtle difference, but it's really important. In a past episode of the report, we chatted about the AI bypass model. What does AI allow us to bypass? What is it that we don't have to do anymore? Working on a case study right now for Podcast Movement. It's going to be a lot of fun, a pretty significant show using AI to do something to make the show better. We're going to use AI. It takes hundreds and hundreds of episodes that AI never touched originally, but we'll make it better. Should be a lot of fun. Strategic byproduct for this and our organization is we're going to have a really very cool tool at the end of all this that we'll be able to leverage and show with that others. And I am, full disclosure, we're going to be running the tool on this very episode as well to see what happens. But most people look at things that once took a human and now think it can be AI. Now that's cool. I've said before, one of the things I really like is when you put your show on YouTube, and you know how I feel about putting the show on YouTube, that you can give the transcript to an AI and you can get your chapters, and that happens really, really quickly. There's a lot of great stuff for the world of things that once took a human and now take AI. But I really want you to consider, it's something we're working with, and I think it's where the industry needs to go. What about the stuff that we couldn't do with a human being? Or maybe what about the stuff we really couldn't afford on large scale or afford time wise with a human being? Not, should Linda write the show notes or should the AI? But what are the things that we couldn't have done before the AI allows us to do? So what I want you to do is I want you to think through that. And I'd love to start a conversation. You can put comments here. Let's read on social. Let's chat about this. One of the big things at the podcast movement is we're a big proponent of the idea that AI never lands the plane. AI does the things that we need to get the plane landed, and then we land the plane. And yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, but I think it's important because AI doesn't finish it all. AI helps us get to the finish point. What I would encourage you to do is simply make a list of three things. Write it down digitally, analog, drink coffee, drink beer, I don't care, eat something. Make a list of three things that you want to do with your podcast. But right now, simply can't. All right. I want you to list three things that you want to do with your podcast, but right now, simply can't. And then spend some time working through the process. If I want to go back to the episode about the bypass model, that's great. If not, no worries. But spend some time thinking about the possibilities of how could AI make that possible. And then even if we're not there yet, it's coming fast. It's coming powerful. It's doing some pretty amazing things. And I think we've all been blown away by it. And so the tech might not be here today, but it might be here tomorrow. It might be here next week. And if you've got that prep work done of what you want it to do for you, for your show, for your audience, I think you'll be at a really better place. So again, it's a simple idea, but don't use AI to do your show. Use AI to do your show better. We'll chat again soon. Bye now.